Western Canaanites in history. In the historical documents, the region of Canaan is referred to from the 3rd millennium. The ethnic label Canaanite first appeared in the 3rd millennium BC text from Ebla in Syria. Among these Ebla tablets, there are references to a region called Canaan and its people referred to as Kinahum or Kinahni. The tablet mentioned trade relationship and interactions with cities and rulers in the Canaanite region. Also, some of the early references equate Canaan with the Phoenician coast and its inlands. It broadly corresponds to the part of present-day Israel, the Palestinian territories, Lebanon, and Syria. The coastal cities of Tyre and Sidon and Byblos were among the prominent Canaanite urban centers. Its geographic location is very significant as it stood at the crossroads between Europe, Asia, and Africa. Most of its early history, the land of Canaan was within the geopolitical sphere of the ancient Egypt. In the late Bronze Age, Egypt established military and political control of the Levant and continued its dominance. Under the Egyptian administration, the region was divided into 3 provinces: Amurru, the far north, Up, the region around Damascus, and Canaan, which included Phoenicia and the southern Levant. Later in the 1st millennium, Egyptian sources tend to refer to southern Levant and Philistia as Canaan. After Egyptians lost their grip on this region, it was invaded by other empires, such as the Neo-Assyrians and Neo-Babylonians, Greeks, Persians, Romans, Byzantines, Arabs, and Ottomans. In the 20th century, after the First World War, the French and British took control of this region. The political structure of the Canaanites. During Middle Bronze Age, between 2000 to 1550, Canaanite society was organized into city-states, each with its own ruler and government. These city-states operated independently but maintained cultural and trade connections. Examples include Ugarit, a significant center of Canaanite culture. Now, Canaanites also made significant cultural contributions. They made notable contribution to art, literature, and craftsmanship. The city of Ugarit, for instance, had a rich literary tradition, and its texts have provided valuable insight into Canaanite culture and mythology. Phoenicians, who were the Western Canaanites, they developed the first alphabetical script. The ancient Hebrew script was adopted from the Phoenician Canaanite script. The ancient Canaanites were active traders, benefiting from their strategic location along the Mediterranean coast. They engaged in maritime trade, exchanging goods with neighboring cultures such as Egyptians, Mesopotamians, and the Hittites. Byblos, known for its timber and papyrus trade, was a key trading center. How did the Canaanite culture decline? The decline of Canaanite city-states is often attributed to invasions and conquest by external powers. Canaanites were predominantly a Bronze Age civilization. The arrival of the Sea People and the emergence of other groups during the late Bronze Age and the early Iron Age contributed to the decline and eventual assimilation of the Canaanites into the dominant culture. The Canaanites in the southern Levant gradually assimilated into the dominant Israelite population. However, the Phoenicians, the branch of the Canaanites, the Western Canaanites, they continued to thrive well into the 1st millennium. There is an interesting bit of information on Canaanite conflict with Rome. We noted already that Phoenicians were a branch of the Canaanites known as Western Canaanites. They established several cities in and around Mediterranean as part of their sea trade network. One of the important Phoenician settlements in North Africa, in the coast of Tunisia, was the city of Carthage. Now, Carthage and Rome had a long conflict, vying for dominance in the Mediterranean sea trade. These wars are known in history as the Punic Wars. There were 3 major wars between 264 BC to 146 BC. The legendary Carthaginian general Hannibal Barca, who crossed the Alps with his huge army and war elephants and terrorized Rome, was certainly a Phoenician Canaanite descendant. In short, Canaanite culture was dominant in the southern Levant during the Bronze Age, 3500 to 1200 BC. As Iron Age began, most Canaanite city-states faded. Some survived well into the Greco-Roman era.